Hi, everybody. Welcome to I Fucking Love Whiskey. My name's Andrew Pierce, and I fucking love whiskey. I'm here, as always, with my co-host, Mr. Joseph Limbaugh.
Hello, that's me. I also fucking love whiskey so much.
And today we have a very special guest, one of the founders of the Whiskey Society, and one of the gentlemen who's taught me almost all I know about Scotch and so much that I've forgotten about Scotch. It's Mr. Stuart Campbell.
Huzzah!
Hello, folks. How you doing? Glad to be with you.
We're very glad to have you with me.
I'm sure we're going to ask a lot of whiskey questions. I know I will. I'm the color commentator, so my knowledge is even far less than Andrew's.
Well, to be honest, I just make it up as I go along.
Great, another improviser.
Let me explain my knowledge gaps.
Yeah.
Well, anyways,
I normally go to Collier for any information I need, or other Whiskey Society. I'd call him the genius in amongst us, but
well, he's German. He does like his precise facts.
Yes, he does. He likes his precise facts indeed. But a lovely introduction whiskey for us here. I'm really quite pleased. That's where we're starting.
Right. This is just to kick off. This is to get us warmed up. This is a 43% banknote blended Scotch whiskey. Great value. Lovely 5-year-old.
And brought to you from A.D. Rattray, which for a long time, early on when we started our society, A.D. Rattray was one of the independent bottlers we used to go to very regularly. They seem to have kind of like disappeared off the shelves a bit these days.
Yeah, I haven't seen it here. Maybe it's just not being imported to the U.S. now.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, but I mean, we anything we used to get from A.D. Rattray used to feel like, top-notch stuff. And so when we seen that this little 5-year-old blend appeared on the shelves, we were like, oh, A.D. Rattray. And it didn't let us down. It's a lovely opener, really approachable whiskey.
Really affordable, and in terms of the blends out there, they use a higher percentage of malt than most blends do.
Yeah, and it's got a lovely kind of toffee kind of, texture and sweetness to it that is just generally appealing. I think it's one of those ones that's actually really nice for most people as an introductory. So yeah, Slange.
It's also it's smooth. Like there some I find some like low-end blended whiskeys have like a really sour taste to them, or they have like a weird kind of aftertaste, and this one doesn't have any of that stuff. It just has a nice good flavor,
Yeah, and I've never really kind of checked into it to see what they're using to build this up, but yeah, you're right. It's not got some of the harshness that comes along with some of the blends that you get. So I guess they must be using some good shit.
I can't remember it off the top of my head, but I know that you put the recipe on the website, so you can go and see exactly the breakdown. That's how I know they have a very high percentage of malt compared to other blends.
Right. Yeah.
So,
well, I'll keep drinking.
There you go.
And you can keep asking me questions.
We have a great lineup today, if I say so myself, and I do.
Yeah.
I'm calling this To the Forge because we're going kind of high alcohol, which is why we're starting here and warming up. We've got a Bruichladdich Black Art 7.1 edition, an Ardbeg Supernova Committee edition from 2015, a Bowmore Scotch Malt Whiskey Society Isla Festival that just came out. I have not tried this yet, 3.314. A Mortlock 9-year-old, which I believe we have had at the Society, and one of the reasons I have 2 bottles of it, so we must like it. And then to finish it up with a Balblair Scotch Malt Whiskey Society 70.27, Fire and Earth, which I think is just a good way to land this thing. So
yeah, that looks like a bit of a beast.
If I die later today, I'll be happy. I feel like after this lineup, I can just, that's it. I can, I've achieved my goals in life.
It may be too early to bring up, but Stuart, I detect an accent. What kind of accent is that?
I'm from Burbank.
It's Burbankian.
Born and bred in Burbank. No, Glasgow, Scotland. Haven't been there, lived there I've actually lived here more than I've lived in Scotland, strangely enough now. I've been here 24 years, 25 this coming January. But yeah, as you can notice, I've lost a bit of the accent along the way. But yeah, I moved to London back, oh God, now 24 years here, and I think it was 12 years in London. So I'm only 55 at the moment, so yeah, literally just kind of overtook my time that I spent. I left Glasgow when I was 23, and yeah, went to seek out my fortune in London, and that kind of led me to here because I ended up working. Spielberg had an animation studio in London, and luckily, just the right time, right place. Ended up working at that studio. Mm-hmm. And then they moved that studio over here around about the time when I guess there was animation was riding high when I came out here. So you had things like The Lion King had just come out and Beauty and the Beast and stuff like that. So Disney were doing well. Warner Brothers were staffed up. Sony were staffed up. So DreamWorks is who I work for, and they were looking for talent, and unfortunately they got us. So, but yeah, so in '96 came out here with DreamWorks, and I've been with DreamWorks ever since. And yeah, and that's where we started the Whisky Society, and it's been going for quite some time now.
13 years now.
Yeah, almost 13. It's actually 13. Yeah, it'll be 14 in April. So yeah, it was just one of those things where I realized my sort of duty at work is I think the guy who always organizes the drinks. From day when I was the first guy to get a fridge in my office and stock up with beer, and people would come by and go, "Hey Stuart, any editorial or working late tonight? Can we borrow some?" And so that was the kind of thing. And so eventually I noticed how many people were actually enjoying whiskey that I was pouring. And I thought, well, okay, let's try and, pull the resources together, because we were, it's not a cheap booze by any manner of means. I mean, it's cheap if you consider how long it takes you to drink a bottle of whiskey versus how long it takes you to drink a bottle of wine.
But for initial investment compared to those others, it's
yeah. So I mean, it's not really that expensive. But when everybody's got all the other things that they spend their money on, children, whatever it might be, and so it was like, okay, you know what we should do?
Yeah, true.
We should throw our money together and try and get a little bit more variety of whiskey. And to that end, I kind of thought, right, okay, let's start a whiskey society and pull everybody together that enjoys it. And it was a roaring success. I was kind of surprised how popular it became. And we have everybody from all over the company showing up, and it's one of the best ways I've actually found for breaking down barriers. You get lots of parties, company parties and stuff like that, and they're very corporate based, and it's very
everyone stays in their little clique of people.
Yeah, exactly. But the way our society works is it's basically an open forum, and it's a small space, so you're kind of all fitted into this small space, and you have to talk to each other, and it's worked out as being a way of breaking down a lot of different sort of barriers in the company in terms of, because you go in instant messaging in a company, can you check this file in, and it's all very kind of like impersonal, and I found that you got to understand the person behind those instant messaging type
by having talked to them,
emails. So you actually got, because not everybody's got the best command of English. I certainly don't. So writing English down versus talking gives you a situation where you might misunderstand the message that's coming across. And so
wait, are you saying people misunderstand each other with text? I'm not so sure that I buy that. I feel like every nuance is clearly delivered through a purely
Yeah.
text interchange. I mean, think of all the values to our society that the
Text is brought.
predominance of text has really brought forth.
Yeah, no, it's really quite. It was quite eye opening for me. I actually now get more productivity out of it, simply as said, because you like the person that you're talking to now.
Well, after like Andrew's told me a lot about the society, and it's like it just sounds really awesome. It makes me want to get a job at DreamWorks just to. Maybe I just get hired as like a security guard, and then I can like come and just to go to the society.
We could do a security guard at the society. Yeah.
Oh, maybe the society needs a security guard.
Do we have
Just
budget
cut
for
out
that?
the middleman.
Yeah, well, we need to get rid of Pierce. Yeah,
Hey,
yeah, we could do with some extra muscle.
Speaking of muscle, let's muscle through to number 2.